And it's red. We're live.
Oh,
We're
no.
live.
I have to show you guys my shirt.
What?
We
The company
are
motto.
live.
Help one person every day. Come on, y'all.
Come on, son.
Help other people every day.
Help other people every day.
Help other people every day.
Be a foster.
All right, there we are. So, Facebook, what's going on? Everybody say hello, Facebook.
Yo.
Wave
Hey.
hello. Wave hello.
FB.
All right, show is still not live yet. We still got another minute for the show, but I'm going to start a watch party for Facebook. Come on, Facebook.
Come on, Facebook.
Everybody say hello.
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 Hello. Do we know who that is?
Tuned in to KVGI.
Are you looking for Mark?
Boy, oh boy.
KVGIRadio.com.
Streaming live from the KVGI studios in Frisco, Texas.
KVGI? Well, it's live radio, isn't it?
We're live.
Are you sure you're in the right place?
For the Who You Know show?
Welcome
For
to
the Who You Know show?
Job Networking Show, where what you know is important, but who you know can make all the difference in finding and landing your next career opportunity. Now here are your hosts, Trevor, Mark, and the founder of SearchForYouInc.com and Frisco Connect, Foster William.
Hey, what's going on, job seekers? It's the Who You Know Job Networking Show. My name is Trevor Houston. I got my co-hosts with me, Foster Williams and Mark Howard. Mark Howard.
Just right across
Mark
the street.
Howard. Mark Elder. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing today?
Doing good. Doing
Fantastic. We got a
good.
couple.
Weather's a little nicer.
Oh, the weather's getting great. Got a couple special guests. We want to get right to it. JP Vericalone in the house. What's going on, JP?
Hey, Trevor. Good to see you.
Man, how are you?
I'm great.
How are you? Lucinda Rook.
Hey, ready to
Lucinda?
rock.
Hey, how are you?
Oh.
How are you? And
We got a
Leon
tagline.
DeLeon.
Oh.
Did I say it right?
You did?
Man.
In the house?
Executive recruiting in the
Leon
house.
the Lion.
Leon the Lion.
Leon the Lion.
Leo the Lion.
All right,
Uh-oh.
all right. So we got a full house today. We got a lot of content, great people with us, got some great speakers. So we always like to kick this thing off with a prayer. Foster, let's do us the honors. Go ahead. Let's kick this thing off.
Okay. All right. So today, guys, we are going to have a short devotion. This is what I heard on the way in here. This really hit me deep in my spirit. So hopefully it will do the same with you guys. So here we go. Now, we are all faced with all kind of religious beliefs and all sorts of things. So here we go. Religion says, oh, I messed up. My dad's going to kill me. And sonship, relationship says, oh, I messed up. I better call dad. Pause for effect. Okay. Guys, I hope you think about that. I'm serious as a heart attack. I want you to think about what was just said. Now, Father God, we need your guidance. And we're in the job search, and we need all sorts of help because we cross paths and we don't even know what's going to happen to us when we get up every day, who we're going to meet, what's going to happen. So we absolutely need you, and we need that sonship and that relationship we just talked about with you in order that we may know which direction to go. And so we give it all to you, and we pray that you continually help us in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Amen. Well, we've got some landings, right? Want to go ahead and get to those?
Landing.
Mr. Anderson, Larry Anderson. I call him Mr. Anderson like he was on Matrix or something, you know. And he landed today. He has a really, really unique job. He's leading some salespeople in the financial services industry. I can't remember the name of the company. Larry, don't kill me. I know you're listening. I can't remember the company. But we want to congratulate you on landing because your job search lasted longer than you wanted it to, but it wasn't long overall.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah.
Also, Jeff Kronschnabel, I think I said it right.
Yep.
Jeff Kronschnabel.
Yep.
Jeff?
I just got the notification. USAA. Investment
Great
Services
company.
Specialist. So, he wants to give us a special shout out. Says he appreciates all the help and all the support through his second transitional period. Guys, sometimes you're going to go through one, sometimes you're going to go through two, maybe three or four. But we're going to be here the whole time for you to help support you through the way. So congratulations. Any others that you guys know about?
Yep, there is a silent one that I'm not able to say anything about for USAA as well.
Okay.
That's going to happen. But
Okay.
probably the next
Okay.
show I'll be bringing it out.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Well, we're excited to hear that. Guys, when you land, we want to hear your stories. They're important. We've got somebody here with us today, actually, JP, and you had a fantastic story. So,
Yep, JP, tell us a little bit more. So you have come through the WhoYaKnow network, right?
I did.
Yeah. So, and it's been a little while. You got started, and you actually came through our workshop that we have. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about kind of where you came from and what your journey was like?
Sure. So at the time, I'm going back a year and a half, maybe more. I was living in Massachusetts when I got laid off, and for family reasons moved to Texas without a job, didn't know anybody, and I began, my job search, but, the first week led into the second, and then before I knew it, it just was taking way longer than I ever anticipated, and certainly longer than I ever wanted. And I was starting to get, I well surpassed starting to get frustrated. I was very, very frustrated in the job search to the point I didn't even want to do it anymore, but I knew I had to type thing. And one of my really good friends, one of my only friends in Texas, had heard about the WhoYaKnow program and the workshops and the pink slip meetings that you guys do, and suggested that I give it a shot. And I'm so glad I did, because very shortly after, and thanks to some direct advice from you guys, I was not only given a great offer, I was given 2 great offers that I had to choose from.
That's awesome. And I remember when that was all transpiring, we had one of our monthly events. They're now quarterly. We moved that Pink Slips event over to CityWorks into a quarterly basis. But you had come in to the event, and just were all excited because you had gotten some traction and gotten noticed using a bomb, right?
Yep.
The technology. Tell us a little bit more about that, how you leveraged that and what your experience with that was.
Yeah, absolutely. The initial time I met you guys was at the Pink Slips, and you had mentioned you have a workshop. I don't know how frequently you have it, but I was at the very next one. It might have been in the same week, as a matter of fact. And I was looking forward to go. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't have anything else on my calendar. And so
Why not, right?
So I show up to the workshop, and it was helpful beyond belief for a number of reasons. I would say first and foremost, we brought open in the air and on the table the conversation that I'm frustrated, and everybody's frustrated, and I'm not alone on that. I felt a lot of support from you guys and everyone in the class, really. And that helped. I mean, I can't even say how much that helped. It just got me in a much better frame of mind. And from there, I could do so much more. It was all exponential improvements. And you mentioned a number of recommendations, suggestions, and best practices. But the one that stood out to me the most was your examples of video emailing through the software service called BombBomb, and my eyes were just wide open to that, and I could immediately see how one candidate doing that could separate themselves head and shoulders beyond all other candidates being considered for any role or really anything. So yeah, I mean, I utilized that, and I got a lot of really positive feedback very quickly.
Excellent. Yeah, and you had not one but 2 opportunities come through just from that. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I don't, the first one, the job opportunity I ultimately took, I don't know how much had to do with BombBomb, getting the interview had to do with BombBomb, but I can tell you for a fact that using BombBomb's platform definitely helped me after the interview process had begun. On the second one, however, I can tell you very factually that the hiring manager was sent my video from who, I don't know, no idea, but reached out to me because of that video being out there on the LinkedIn.
Because you recorded like a commercial, right, for yourself in your search?
Yeah, based on, again, your suggestions. And I can thank you directly because I sent over the video I suggested to you guys. You edited it up, made it look really professional, posted it on LinkedIn on my behalf, on your behalf, to your network and Trevor's network, and man, it was just so beneficial.
Yeah,
Trevor does all those
yeah.
editings.
Well, the video was great, and I use your example actually currently now in the workshop that we do.
Yep.
Our future workshops. I use your video as an example, and what I liked mostly about your video is you were just very authentic and genuine and natural, and you weren't reading a script. You weren't, it wasn't a production piece, and it doesn't have to be. Just be yourself, and that's what's most important, and people can relate to you. And in that video, you were very relatable, and people it was like, I want to help this guy. You know what I mean? That's just the feeling you get. Not helping like, oh, look at him, but just like, oh, I totally can relate to that type of situation. You had mentioned in your video, you're like, I'm new to the area and I don't know anybody. So like, if you know somebody that is from this company, that company, or the other, I'd love an introduction. You were very natural about that.
Very conversational. Yep.
And I think people can relate to that, right? People are like, yeah, shoot, I've moved different place. I don't know anybody either,
Look, I think when you're relaxed and you're comfortable and you're yourself, that's when you're the most attractive, right? So to speak, is from a candidacy perspective. And you get, I think we all get ourselves worked up, right? A lot of the job seekers that you guys interact with too, Lucinda and Leon, you probably see that they're real tightened up and they're just so tense and like it's unattractive.
Yeah, a little bit,
right? It can kind of turn people off. So I think that's a credit to you.
I have a question. So I know that using video is out of the comfort zone, right, for a lot of people, especially if they've never done it. So your experience with BombBomb and creating a video and all that kind of stuff, like how did you get over that hurdle to get out of your comfort zone, and what was that experience like?
That wasn't easy. I mean,
how many edits?
Oh my goodness, countless. But what I can tell you, after your workshop that morning, it was only like 3 hour long workshop.
Couple hours,
that went by way faster than even 3 hours feels like typically. But after that, I had so much energy, and you put me properly into a positive frame of mind about my situation, where I approached the videos in a much better way and excitedly, and I just wanted to jump on it ASAP, which I did. And I did a horrible job. Like
Evidently not too horrible.
No, it worked.
Well, the first one was a zillion times worse than the 10,000th one, which is probably the one that you guys are talking about. But even that one, there was so much room for improvement. And I mean, what I can tell you is, I wanted to get on it right away, get it out right away. But I can also tell you that you're not going to do a great job at first. But just practicing doing it provided me more value than you'd even know. My first interview with the first company was a video interview. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even video; it was recorded questions.
Recorded, okay.
But by then,
you're like,
I was
got
so
this.
much more comfortable in front of the camera,
Yep.
and they told me flat out, vice president of HR told me directly, flat out, your video stood up.
Very polished.
Yeah, I mean, head and shoulders above all other candidates, just based on the video alone.
Now, a little bit more about your search, because I want this to be an encouragement to others too. You were actually at a point where you were working some gap jobs, right?
Oh yeah, I'd been working some gap jobs, and it was miserable. It was too much time and almost no money at all.
Okay, so but you did what you had to do, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
so-
I mean, and I would suggest the same to anybody. But a lot of that was on your advice, or you supported what I had been doing anyways. Is fill in the gap, but also on top of that, concentrate a lot of focus on this stuff also.
Yeah, and so I mean, doing the search as far as treating it like a job. I mean, it really is, and we'd say that in the workshop, and I'm sure people hear it all the time. But you know, you got to get up, you got to suit up, you got to go to work and do the job, which is the search, not in front of the computer, right? But getting out and networking and meeting people, and you know, getting positive traction. People are working on their resumes and things like that, and that's great. You got to have a great resume, you got to have a great LinkedIn profile. Yep. But if nobody sees it,
doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't do anybody any good. Right?
Well, and I have one quick question, because we're wrapping up on time. But you had mentioned you still use BombBomb.
Oh, yeah.
You're still using it, and you
100%.
had talked to me about how you're using it with the company you're working for now, and some of the waves that it's making inside the company with the higher ups in the company. Like, talk to us about that real quick.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the awesome features about BombBomb, I mean, there's so many, but this one I'm about to mention, you have as a user, you have the ability to track the views of your videos. And what I can tell you is, after my video, after my interviews, I sent personalized videos to everybody I had interviewed with, and tracking the views and the forwards. I can let you know that the owner of a really large multi-billion-dollar company forwarded it on to multiple people.
Man,
and I'll continue to use it in my role, just communicating important messages to people who need to hear them.
That is
Fantastic.
awesome. That is awesome. Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, we love hearing your story, and thank you for joining us. Everyone who is listening, if you go to the Facebook Live, if you're listening but not watching, you can catch us on Facebook Live. Go to the WhoYaKnow, and that's YA job networking show on Facebook, and you can catch the show live. For those of you that are watching, I'm going to post up in the comments a link to JP's LinkedIn, so you can link in with him. If
Awesome.
you got
Yeah,
some
put his
questions.
LinkedIn in there.
We're
and
gonna put him
also-
on blast.
Hey,
Put you on blast.
Hey, let's also put his video that he recorded, because we still got that. I'll put his
Yes. Oh,
video
yeah.
on
I
there.
wanna see it.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, so hey, congratulations, and we appreciate
go.
you.
Guys, we got to cut the break. We got to keep the lights on. Thank you so much, JP, for sharing. Listeners, we will be right back.
Okay, we're at
Right.
commercial. Facebook, what's going
Facebook
on?
Live. Hey,
Yup,
thanks
yup.
for joining us. Be sure to share the video. Be sure to share and invite others to the video if you're watching on live. And thanks for joining in. Make sure that you post your questions. We want questions. We want testimonials. Interact with us here on Facebook Live. We've got a lot of people watching. Give some shout outs. Actually, Kim Secor. JP, do you know Kim Secor?
Yeah.
Yeah, she says, hey, JP. So
Hey,
she'll
Kim.
give you a little shout out there. And we've got a bunch of folks watching. We've got Phil Luttrell. We've got Christina Zahn. She's been
Hey,
with us a couple
Christina.
weeks. Yeah, Jordan Temple. Hey, Jordan. LaDonna Connor from
LaDonna.
Fairfield. I think she's actually in New Mexico now. But John Pecora, Carl Andrews. Oh, Catherine Jenkins.
Hey, Catherine.
Hey, Catherine, how
Yeah.
you doing?
Chris Hatton. Hey, Chris.
Hey,
Hey, Chris is
Catherine.
over at Money Matters. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Hey,
Well,
what's
see you
going
there.
on, Chris?
Some lady named Uni Elder.
Oh, who's
Oh,
that?
that lady again. She's a
Yeah.
police.
Who is
isn't
that?
That's my baby's mama.
No, it's true. It's true.
It's true.
Babies, I like I said. My baby's mama.
And Claudia
there's
Choi. Hey,
some
Claudia.
Quite a few of those.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble. We got
We
got the
The owner of the studio just walked in,
Oh,
and he
man.
said we're shutting these guys down.
Uh-oh.
They're awful. They're awful. And it's true. It's true. We are. It's true.
I want to say hi to Claudia Montanari.
Hey, yeah. Claudia Montanari.
Say that last name again.
Montanari.
Montanari.
over at
What?
Lennox International.
Why, when you have a name like that, do you want to say it like a question? Like, Montanari. Like, I don't know. You like, I don't know. Like, that's the way I want to say it. I don't understand
Awesome story from being on the show and
Really?
and how she picked up and utilized
why.
BombBomb.
She had
How
a
she paid it forward. Oh my God.
She had a very similar story, right? She used BombBomb. She got the views inside the company. They were looked at her information. The email had been viewed tons of times. It got forwarded just like yours did inside the company. And so what happens is you actually go viral inside the company.
Inside the company.
Inside the computer. No, you get
How's
to
that
go
possible?
virable. I can't talk today.
Montanari.
Montanari. And guys, for Facebook Live, you checking this out? I'm gonna put a link here because guess what? There is a new deal, and JP, I'm gonna work this out for you too because you are still using BombBomb. For those people using BombBomb, when you sign up for your subscription, you get 2 weeks free, and then after you sign up, you're gonna get
free 99.
Well, 2 weeks is free, and then after that, it's not free. But 2 weeks for free, and then you sign up, and they're going to send you a $50 gift card, which will pay for your first month. So now 2 weeks just turned into 6 weeks. So you get 6 weeks to just check the thing out. Check it out. See if it's going to work for you like it did for JP.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? We got nothing to lose.
Can you use it for business?
You can use it for
Oh,
business.
man.
That's the whole
It's a great
purpose.
way to
Done.
engage
Thank
your
you.
employees.
All right, I got
Boom.
you.
Right?
Thank
We need to
tired
connect
of-
because I got you.
Oh.
You tired of sending out emails to your staff and them
Yes.
not reading it? Like, send them a video.
Oh, it's even cooler because you know when they do, and you're like,
That's awesome.
you send them another email and you say, hey,
I know you seen it.
I just saw you looked at it.
Wow.
And they're like,
Yes.
oh, snap.
That's the best part. I've been using it for more than 5
I'm
years.
watching you.
Yeah.
Great.
You can start it out like that.
Yeah, I'm watching you. I know every click, okay? Every time you click and play the
Love it.
video, I know it. So that link, guys, just so you know, is bombomb.com/whoyaknow. Bombomb.com
BOMB, BOMB.
Who you know. We got our new landing page, just got it the other day, so excited about that so that I can pay it forward. You know, I had the conversation with Ethan Butte. Got to give a special shout out to him. He's the VP of marketing.
Hey, Ethan.
For BombBomb, and I had a conversation with him, and I said, hey, I'd like to have you as a sponsor. Obviously, we're teaching your platform, so it makes perfect sense, but I don't need the money. The show doesn't need the money. We'd rather take that money and pay it forward to the job seekers so that they'll actually use it, right? I said, I would rather them have it than me have it. So,
Wow.
and they did that.
Hey, guess who just joined?
Who's that?
Jeff Cronschnabel.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations, Jeff.
Woo, USA. Hey. All right.
USA. Hey, USA. Hey.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right.
Jeff
Every
just
Wednesday,
landed
4
a
p.m.
job,
right here
listeners.
on KVGI Radio.
You heard it here first.
You guys got the rejoin?
Hey, welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show. Trevor Houston here, and I've got special guest here with me, Leon DeLeon. What's going on, Leon DeLeon?
Oh, man, just hanging with you guys, having a good time.
You know, I'm glad to see you here. I have known Leon for 30-plus years.
When I was a kid, yeah.
When we were kids, we really were. We had started our recruiting career.
Yep.
And we did, in the beginning, I didn't even know Leon did the same thing I did. And so we became brothers in the fight, in that corporate battle.
Yep.
And then we realized that we kind of had a synergy where we really like to help people outside of just our jobs and making money. So we continued to grow as decent people. And our what am I looking for? Our career fueled us moving forward
Absolutely.
with the whole relationship that we have now.
Yeah.
Here is what Leon does, guys. Leon specializes in executive recruiting. Leon has hired people in excess of $1 million salary. And you talking about the right person to have on this show. Let's talk a little bit about that a little bit. And I'm supposed to wave at Facebook. Hey, Facebook, you guys see Leon over there? Okay. And so, Leon, in your estimation, I'm an executive.
Right.
And I've really never really had to look for a job before, and the dynamics have changed now.
Yep.
So what are some of the things that I should be doing now that I got laid off, or, you know, the dynamics that happen at that level, that executive at the top of the company kind of level, and I found myself without a job? What should I be doing beside panicking? Actually, I shouldn't be panicking. When you hear what Leon's got to say, you won't panic. But what are some of the things that, some of the first things that they should be preparing for?
Yeah, so then thanks, Foster. And Really appreciate being on the show today. Certainly appreciate being with all of you guys, Mark and Trevor.
You got
Thank
radio
you.
voice, man.
So, first off, if you're unemployed, it's okay, but you should have probably started a little earlier. Because I can tell you, for most executives, it's who you know. I can tell you time and time again, whether you're 6 figures, 7 figures, and 8 figures, those guys continually get recruited by who they know.
That's right.
I can tell you story after story after story. In many of the executive searches that I've been involved in, again, whether they're 6 or 7 figure, the executives that I'm sitting with, which is usually the C-suite or the board, they usually give me a couple of names. Hey, I'd like to go after these guys who they know, and let me know who else sits in similar seats out there, right? So I'm the guy that comes in and gives them a good color of what the market looks like, what the other executives look like, and I get the low-hanging fruit. I get people from their network of who they know, right? And I come back and I assess that. But to answer your question, what do you do now? So let's just say you're caught flat-footed, right? And it does happen.
Oh, yeah.
It happened to me, believe it or not, in my career.
Me too.
Overnight, I was happy, dumb, and I felt fat, dumb, and lucky, right? In a job at about 7:30 at night. Had a large team of folks that I was leading. Saving the company a lot of money, making them even more. And here comes the news, right? At 7:30 p.m. that evening. Hey, we want to talk to you. And so I walk into an office.
No.
There's HR.
Uh-oh.
And there's a guy on the
man,
phone
not HR.
who's number 2 within the organization saying, hey, listen, we've had, blah, 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 happen in the market. Unfortunately, blah, 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 blah. Your job is eliminated.
Yeah.
And I'm going like,
Ouch.
what? Did I hear that right? Are you kidding? And they said, nope, absolutely. And then so I go on to proceed like many people. Well, you know what? I want to take care of my team. Give me a day. Give me 2 days. Give me a week. I'll work for free. Let me get them ready. And they're like, nope, we got it. See ya. Goodbye. Give us your computer.
Here's your box.
Here's your box.
Oh, did you get a box?
Luckily enough, again, I'm a pro at this, right? I continued relationships throughout my employment.
Absolutely.
So what did I do? The very next morning, to someone that I'd been in contact with the whole time that I was there, again, networking, I shoot them an email as I'm walking into Starbucks, right? Shoot them an email saying, hey, in case you've got anything going on, of course, somebody that I know at a good spot, at a certain level in the organization, if you see anything, let me know. I'd be open, right? Before I walk out of that Starbucks, I get a missed call. I'm going like, how did that even happen? I listen to the message, and the message says something like this: oh my God, don't do anything. I got you. Call me right now. So within that very next morning, again, with someone very close in my network, I was hired that very next morning to another great job without skipping a beat. Backing up a little bit, when I went home to tell my kids that I'd been let go that night, they let me go at 7:30 at night. I got home probably about 8:30. How I knew things were going to be okay when my kids started jumping up and down on the couch saying, hooray, you're not working there anymore.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to tell them anything. I'm good. I'm done. I know God has something for me that's even better.
Amen.
Sure enough, that very next morning, without skipping a beat, I was hired to another great organization. So what I can say to you, maybe you've missed that window. Maybe you haven't kept in contact with folks out there that who you know, and of course, more importantly, with who they know, right? It's a good time to start now. Certainly, there's a lot of programs that I know that Who You Know show runs, and they're either monthly or quarterly, and I'm sure they'll talk about them before we end today.
Yeah, we should.
Certainly keep close. And then there's a lot of networking groups, tons of networking groups. I've seen hundreds of folks, and I'm telling you, hundreds of folks get hired, transition successfully by this network. So I can tell you, it's something that works over and over and over again. And I can't go through everything you need to do, but the first thing you need to do on that very next morning,
rely on those relationships.
But like we started today, I'm a guy that spends a lot of times on his knees. Pray. Pray.
Oh, can't forget that.
Yep. Pray. I can tell you, that night I said, you know what? I don't know what you have for me, but I know you have something better. And there it was. So I can tell you, being in that seat, being in your same place, maybe you're in that place today, I can tell you, I can promise you 3 things. This time will pass. I can absolutely assure you that.
You ever notice how God kind of comes and reaches you at some of the lowest points in your life and kind of shakes you up a little bit, right? You ever
Yep.
notice that?
Yep. Absolutely.
Like,
and it's all for the better.
I mean, when you read the Bible, it goes into, he came to save the weak and the sinners and the people that maybe need his help and they're in desperate situations and things like that. I'm just saying, there's sometimes when you're weak, he's strong, right? It says when you're weak, he's strong. Just saying.
He's always strong.
Yeah.
Well, he's always strong,
Wow.
but he leans in a little closer when you're in a position that
he
you
knows
need
we're
him. When you're
scared.
like, Daddy, help me. He wants to pick you up.
Absolutely. So, Foster, back to your question. Then,
Uh-huh.
first thing you do is network. Absolutely got to network.
Got to build those relationships.
And even you can say number 2, right? Because maybe it is, number 2, maybe it's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
You got to let go of that pride. You got to absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
now that's got to go.
Sometimes
it's
you got to
just-
get out of your own way.
You
right?
just do. You do. And number 3, you got to know that it's possible. You got to just start thinking about what's next. You got to start believing of what's next. You got to start thanking God of what's next, right?
And a lot of us
guarantee
don't know we're
that's there.
harboring
No,
that stuff.
No, and it's basically those 3
Yeah.
things. This time will pass, right?
Mhm.
It will.
Getting rid of your pride and just start expecting, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. I say, you guys always hear me talk about relationships. Along the way, even in our devotional part of before we started the radio show, we focused on a relationship. Relationships can help you through any bottleneck in your career search, through your life,
Mm-hmm.
everything. And that's what we should be. We're supposed to get along with each other down here. It's how many billion?
You think?
Billions of us on Facebook. No, I'm kidding. Just on the planet. Facebook is not the whole planet. Hey, Facebook. And if we build relationships with each other, we can get there. Every single job I've had in my career has been behind some relationship I had with somebody.
Absolutely.
I have a question, if you don't mind. Are
Yeah.
you still doing the corporate recruiting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So now I'm a partner of a retained boutique, meaning that clients, pay me up front, not the candidate, but clients pay me up front
Corporation.
to find them talent,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, so this is a question I've always had, well, especially when I was looking for jobs, is, what would you recommend to the listeners who are looking for jobs along the lines of best practices in identifying people in your role,
Mhm.
reaching out to those folks, making
Right.
connections, and what is it you're looking for? Because I thought I had a network of recruiters
Mm-hmm.
who
Mhm.
would never deliver anything when I was looking. What do you recommend?
Right. Yeah. And that's a longer conversation, but I'll give you some snippets, right? And I recently spoke at Brian Stediger's group,
Yeah, I
and
missed
actually
that,
he's
man.
got a presentation that I went over that goes through that whole deal, right? Because out there, that's a great question. Thank you so much for asking that. Out there, there's many recruiters. You got the corporate recruiter, right? And that's really the guy that represents, or the gal that represents the black hole, right? That's where you throw it in, and you're going like, oh, maybe somebody will hear me. Somebody may respond, right? And then you've got the 2 kinds of recruiters outside the corporate arena, right? You've got the contingency recruiter,
Mhm.
right? And those guys are successful about 20% of the time. And let me tell you why. Because they're not paid up front, so they've got to just send a lot of volume. So when you're contacting a contingency recruiter, and there's good ones out there, right? But there's probably a lot more that are the adverse of that, right? Not so good, and they're just interested in who they can place really, really, really quick.
Uh-huh. Throw in paper.
Yeah, throw in paper, right? And they do that, and they have to do that very successfully. They don't have a job, right? And then you have the retained recruiter, and that's me, right? That's the guy that I'm not in it right now. I'm not going to send someone right now because I'm going to look for the right person for that seat or the client, because I'm also giving them a longer guarantee, right? So to answer your question, when you're looking for a good recruiter, whether they're retained or contingency, because there are some good contingency recruiters out there, right?
Very good, yeah.
So you've got to then just connect with them, and if you know that they're into a relationship versus okay, kind of a hurried conversation, you probably just want to cut that off and look for another one, right? And this is a good place to go, because I know that Trevor, Mark, and Foster know a lot of good recruiters, right? And they
Outside
can
of
give
the
you their
black hole.
advice, right? Outside
Yeah.
the black hole.
Well,
Right.
I love that you said that because, I mean, you kind of described the different types of recruiters. I mean, not not all recruiters are created equal, right? So you're going to have some different
Yep.
ones.
Yep.
And I think what I've noticed is the ones that actually come out and about that are on this show, like yourself, these are the guys you want to work with. The people that come to our events,
That's right.
these are the people you want to work with because they actually care and
Yeah,
they're
those
out
are
and
the
about.
ones
They're in
that
the
are
community.
proactive.
They're proactive. Yep.
Yep.
Yep, for sure.
There's one thing that you guys won't see a lot of. This is an observation I've made. I'm hoping that Leon's going to shake his head positively when I say this. But guys, some of the very leadership jobs, some of these $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year jobs, you guys don't see those jobs posted on the open
You'll
market.
never
yeah,
see them.
they're not on a
And
job
the
board.
reason
Come
for
on.
that is
Yeah.
because of that relationship
Yeah.
that they've built in
Yeah.
their network
Yeah.
along the way.
Yep.
Now, pump the brakes. That same thing goes for us other professionals that may not be. We might not make $500,000 a year, but you know what? In this market, we've got to do the same thing. We've got to get out and build relationships.
I was gonna say sign me up for that 7-figure. He mentioned it, but then he went further. He took it up to 8
Eight
figures.
Oh,
so
yeah, he's hired a couple of people at 8
Yeah,
figures.
yeah. No. And
I was like, oh, I was like 7-figure, and then he went to 8, and I was like, oh man, I was shooting low.
but let me tell you something that is maybe going to be surprising to you, whether you're 6 figures or let's just say 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, or 8 figures. In a time of transition, they all sweat the same.
Yep.
I've seen it
Yeah.
every single time,
Mm.
right?
Woo, that's the words
We all-
right there.
Yep, we all put our pants on was the same way.
Can you say that again? That was like drop the mic.
Yeah. We all what?
They all sweat the same.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
man.
Absolutely.
Right out the pores.
Look, I'm going to tell you, like, I feel like I've been doing this for so long. I want to write a book or something about the psychology
Oh yeah.
of being in transition, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
psychology, because I talk to people all the time and I'm like, whoo, man, it's rough. Anyway,
It is.
Constantly, consistently. Leon and I share people. We share relationships.
We do.
We've been in the game a long time. That doesn't make us smart, but you know the spirit that Leon and I have, everybody feels, and we get out there and we show it. Everybody can be smart, but knowledge is not power until it's applied.
mhm.
And so Leon and I get out there and make those decisions. We get out there and make relationships. There's a relationship that exists with all of us in here. Mark and Trevor have made tremendous relationships and came up with another vehicle in which we can tackle our all the problems we have in getting a job today. So that's where the show came from. Who ya know? Now
Well-
you're talking about you executives. It's all about who y'all know.
Real
Mark?
quick, because I know we're getting down to time. One other thing I wanted to point out, you had said, and just reiterate to the listeners, don't get blindsided, right? And that was what you started with,
Yeah.
because a lot of people feel pretty secure, pretty comfy, and you know, there's a lot of companies out there. If you're working for someone, you know, it can happen. So make sure that
Yeah.
you're staying busy and networking during
Right.
your tenure. there.
And with the last word coming in, and I'll certainly want Trevor and Mark to come in. So you start today. And how do you start today? By joining networking groups, even you're employed, right? Helping other people, paying it forward, belonging to a board of a nonprofit. All those boards have CEOs and C-suite people that are employed.
I was
So
one
don't
of those
forget
people.
that.
And LinkedIn. LinkedIn.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that.
Lucinda.
Oh, I knew you.
Guys, that's Lucinda right there, which we're going to be hearing from when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Whoop whoop. All right. Facebook Live. We are still on. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot of people watching today. Make sure that you are putting your questions and your comments in the section. We want to interact with you. We got a bunch of people, like I said. We'll give some shout outs.
Pete Hernandez, what's going on?
hey, Pete.
JT, what's happening?
We got Dice.
Hey,
my buddy Dice.
Leon, I want to know real quick because we didn't get to on the
Yep.
show on air. What's your best way for people to connect with you? Is it your LinkedIn?
Yeah,
Or
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is
Okay.
good. So
I put it up on the comments.
Oh, you did? Okay, great.
Perfect. Because my last name is DE space Leon. D Leon, right? So a lot of folks get confused with that. Can't find me with that. So and my first name isn't Leon. I go by Leon for short. It's Lionel. So Leonel
Elio now.
de space Leon. Oh, de Leon.
You're going to have to say it real quick like. Say the whole thing.
Leone de Leon.
I'm sorry. You did that to me earlier today, and I was like, I can't.
So is that like Lion the Lion?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Lion of Lions.
Lion of Lion. Oh,
Yeah.
the King of Lions.
The Lion of Lions. Yeah.
We just watched Lion King actually last night.
Nice.
We got a comment here from Roger Finlayson. Do you know Roger Finlay? He said, thanks for that insight, Leon. Some ducks manage to look better on the top, but we're all paddling like crazy.
Yep. Yeah, when you see a duck floating on the water, it looks like they're just, they're just chilling.
I got you.
Their feet are going.
Roger, great comment. I like that.
Yep.
That is a great comment. Yeah, we've got a bunch of people join. Jim Gandy's on. Hey, Jim.
What's going on?
Eric Olschwanger.
Eric.
Oh, man, Eric's got I got to connect you with Eric. He's a jeweler. He makes rings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He made Uni's, he made Uni's ring. He built it.
Do we have
from
an announcement or something?
Oh no.
Grew it in a mold, and it's even got an E on it.
Uh-huh,
Yeah. It's a great job. Hey Eric, how's it going? Jeff Lasco, David Cho, Taylor King. Man, I used to play Call of Duty online with Taylor King.
Oh, Taylor,
Yeah,
what's going on, man?
oh,
You
my
play
bad.
Call of Duty.
And Judge Bugby,
Judge.
a bug and a bee.
Bugby. Judge Bugby, a faithful part of Frisco Connect, always there. He's got the job report that he sends out to all the job seekers, has all the important information, has all the jobs you can want. I mean, it's a great, invaluable piece of information that you get. But you got to go to Frisco Connect, and you got to come meet Judge and send him an email, and he'll send you the job report. So thank you, Judge, for doing that.
Thanks, Judge.
Pete Hernandez, also another valuable part of Frisco Connect. We see you tuning in. Man, we love you. He's always there bringing jobs. I mean, we actually went and had lunch with him the other day, and the guy's just, this is his calling, You know when you find it, right? So thank you, Pete, for being part of this. And we want to give another special shout out to Ethan Butte from Bomb Bomb. Thank you for setting up that deal for us so that we can get these job seekers landed. Man, that's what this is all
We
about.
gotta get some people some jobs.
Yeah, we got to get them a job and get everybody landed. And it starts with video, guys. I'm telling you. Video is the number one way people communicate on this planet today.
Okay.
It is.
So are you guys officially, can we send you videos?
Yeah, send us videos. Yeah, one of the things I say in the workshop is look at how people are interacting on social media, not just Facebook, but now LinkedIn.
Right.
LinkedIn has LinkedIn Live coming out.
Yeah.
If you are not leveraging video to network and interact with others, and by interact with others, I mean like hiring managers and recruiters, you're not as relevant as somebody that is, right? JP's a testimony to that.
Yeah. Kim Secker, I don't know if
Secor?
Secor. I guess I said it wrong. Sorry.
I don't know. I just
Kim
made that up.
Secor. She says, when's the next Mark and Trevor morning meeting? That is our Who You Know Career Transition Workshop. That is Monday mornings.
Afternoon.
Monday. Yeah, because she said morning. She got me messed up.
Got you twisted.
It's Monday afternoons, 1 to 5 p.m. every morning at the Cowboys headquarters.
Whoa.
Ooh, Cowboys headquarters. So if you're a Cowboy fan, let me hear you say, go Cowboys. Oh, Jason Witten, he's back.
Yep.
Just saying.
He back.
He back.
The Bears.
Out of retirement. All right, here we go. Coming back on.
We are down one Foster. All right, welcome back to the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where what you know is important,
But who you
all
know
can make all the difference in your job search. So, Lucinda, Trevor and Lucinda are going to have a little chat. Tell us a little bit more.
Lucinda, thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here with us today. We were talking actually earlier on the phone.
That's right. I think our radio show started this morning.
Yeah, we did. We started this morning. We started chit-chatting, and dang, it was a great conversation. But thank you so much for being with us today. I want to hear all about what you're doing out there in the community. I know you have a lot of things going on. You even got some event on March 21st? Yes, I got it right.
Yes.
Boom. Tell us about that event.
I've got LinkedIn training starting face-to-face, live in front. You bring your laptop, and we go at it in front of 2 screens.
Boom.
And it's hands-on. And it's very comfortable because it's only a few of us in the classroom. And so you get lots of interaction, lots of questions. I know JP was talking about when he came to your first event that you met so many people that were supportive. You've got a room full of support there.
Yep.
So
That's
same
massive.
here.
Very cool. So how would somebody get registered for that, LinkedIn meeting, or do they just come, or where is it? Tell us the details about that event.
Oh, they'll need to either go to my LinkedIn,
Okay.
connect with me there, and I'll send the info,
I put it
Perfect.
up.
or search on Eventbrite. So it'll be in Addison, and you can pull it up and sign up there,
Awesome.
or my Facebook page or my company page on LinkedIn. So I think that covers all the avenues.
You know what? If I may, I saw on your LinkedIn, and I think some of your marketing material, maybe it was your contact information. You're in the same office as somebody else who you know,
Really?
Oh, really?
right? Are you over in an office in Addison with a career coach by chance? With Sandler?
Two of them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was wondering where you were going with that, Mark.
Yeah,
You just
okay.
got to put it out there.
Yeah, he
Yes.
got to put that out.
Yeah, you just got to put it
Yes.
Come
out
on,
there.
son.
I teach with Trust Point.
Oh,
Sandler Sales.
very
Yes.
cool. Yeah, they do great, phenomenal work. Yeah, very cool.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Well, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
They do a lot of sales training, and everyone that's out there looking for their job, not only should they be out building their network, but they first need to realize that they're there to sell. They're there to sell themselves. They're there to sell to their colleagues that they can do the job so that they will introduce them to other executives. So selling is part of the deal. And you guys may just think you're job seekers, but you are selling.
You
Oh,
totally.
we're definitely sales, especially this dude right here.
Oh, come on now.
Trevor.
Well, look, I do have a pretty good career in sales, but
Yeah.
I will tell you that's why I've been so successful in helping job seekers train the job seekers on to do exactly that, how to sell yourself, right? I mean, that's the name of the title of the book I need to write, and how to sell yourself, the job search game. I don't know, something like that.
Ooh,
But
there's so many
look,
books.
Lucinda, I know you
Sure.
do a lot with LinkedIn. Tell me about your experience with LinkedIn, because you've been on the platform for a long time, right? Were you one of the original LinkedIners?
Right. Friends with the co-founder of LinkedIn. Yes.
Oh, wow. I've been on there a long time, but why didn't he hook up with me?
I don't go back to 2003, but I go back to
I go back to
2005.
2005.
Me
Well-
too. We're
We're
together.
both in 05.
We're together.
Wow. Well, so you've been on LinkedIn for a long time,
Yes.
and we had a conversation on the phone about kind of the progression of LinkedIn and some of the different changes and some of your thoughts. Talk to me about how you feel about that.
I enjoyed Trevor and I's conversation this morning because he came at it from a millennial,
Mm-hmm.
and I came at it from let's just talk about my hairdresser and only. She's the
Oh,
only one
wow.
that knows. But, we talked about the trends of where LinkedIn's going and what we saw in this next evolution of LinkedIn Live.
LinkedIn Live. We had a song last week.
Yeah, and you can hear both sides of, the pros and cons. How is LinkedIn going to pull this off, being the strategic tool for business professionals? I mean, they've cornered the market on business professionals.
They need the Who You Know show is what they need. Hashtag
Yep.
That's
LinkedIn
right.
Live.
They're
I
missing it.
think
right.
we're headed there. I think Trevor's got us a good line to make that happen.
Well, I'm trying.
Ooh.
Well, some of the conversation we were talking about is you need to keep it professional, right?
Right.
Have some guidelines in place. Don't let just any, Joe Schmo get on there. Maybe even make people pay for it so that you limit it a little bit and make it a little bit more
Get
restrictive.
some skin in the game.
Right.
Yep. So
Right.
so it's not just any Yahoo.
Right. I mean, and one of the things that we talked about this morning is, look at this equipment. This equipment's not cheap.
Yeah.
But
No, it's
this
not.
equipment that the studio has, thank you guys, this is what makes you guys successful.
It
And
does.
so going forward, how is LinkedIn going to control just any old video being posted like Facebook? Or are they going in the direction of Facebook of, okay, we're going to open it up and let everyone post? Will that run off their business professionals?
And I here's my
This is
thought
my
on that.
puzzled face.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They are controlling it. See, we kind of went back and forth on the phone call today. So I don't think that they're going to lose control of that, right? They are the #1 business platform out there. There's not another professional network that is like LinkedIn. They are the one. They're not going to lose that. They're not going to go the way of Facebook. What they're going to do, in my opinion, what I think is going to happen is, again, they're going to have a place for people to post videos, and if people start getting out of line on the content, they're going to have to monitor that stuff and kick people off, right? They own the control to kick someone off of the platform. If you're posting stupid stuff, you need to be gone. Peace. See ya later.
That's
okay?
right. Well, and with photos and pictures and text and posting and all that.
We don't need to see political views and all that kind of stuff. Leave that for Facebook.
That's for Facebook.
LinkedIn's always allowed us to report spam or block somebody or block something. And so I believe that they will have something like that, a pull down that says, hey, report this video. It needs to be checked out. So I think there's ways to govern it. It's just harder with videos than it is with text that they can have artificial intelligence running across and finding it quicker, faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to know from your experience, because you're like the LinkedIn guru, you know it all. So I want to know, if you're a job seeker, and let's say you haven't searched in 20 years, okay, and maybe you didn't even have a LinkedIn, okay. I don't even have a LinkedIn. I know I need one because everyone else is telling me I need one. I go to these groups and they're like, gotta have LinkedIn. So I get a LinkedIn. What are some of the things I need to do to help kind of like build that network, get it started? Because I don't know what to do.
Well, just like you're dressed today, I say dress for success.
Love
Your
it.
presence on there before you reach out and start networking. Once you look good, go for it. Go attach yourself, connect yourself, follow, whatever it takes to get connected to people in high places. Just like Leon was talking about, you want to reach out to those in the right places and target them to get in. So know how to approach them. Come to these workshops. Learn how to do this. I mean, it's not obvious. And whatever you do, don't just hit invite on your smartphone and think you're done. That is the biggest mistake millennials make, and some of the others.
Are you saying I can't just go look up recruiters and go invite? I can't do that?
Well, Leon, what's your chances if you did that you would accept?
Well, one, you better have a good profile.
Right.
If it's anything
No
close to
doubt.
fishy, you're in Russia or somewhere like that, it's delete.
Delete. That's right. That's right. You know that song, You Don't Impress Me Much, Reba? That comes to mind.
That
Sing it
sounds
with
like a
You
Reba
don't
thing.
impress me much. Is
That's
that how it goes?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I got this.
It's in
Here
the
we go,
Texas
Mark.
twang, JP.
Oh, is that right?
I thought I had a good
So you're
profile,
saying
but yours is stellar. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
You
no.
looked?
Yeah, I just looked at it,
Excellent.
and I'm like, oh my God, I've got some work to do, and I'm an all-star.
She teaches in that
yeah.
vein. I love to expose her to job seekers because her presentations are a little bit more guided towards job seekers and what we need to do. Just saying.
So you want to have a full profile, like you want to have it complete, set up before you really go out and try to come to market. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Well, yeah, you only get to make that first impression once,
Yeah.
right? So if you've just hit
I'm sunk.
your buttons, you blew it.
Yeah, because it's kind of
Especially
like
if it's to get into a job like JP just went into, he would have blown it.
you have to think of LinkedIn as almost it's your online resume, right? It's your online resume. Okay,
Better than
Needs-
that.
Better
needs
than
to
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
synchronized.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's your
better than that.
bulletin board.
But would you go into an interview with a 25% of a resume and be like, here's 25% of my resume, and put it on the table? Probably not, right?
Probably not.
So
And
same thing with your
probably-
profile.
And probably you won't get the interview.
Yeah, right.
Because the number one disqualifier is your LinkedIn profile. I mean, it used to be a long
Yeah.
time ago, a 1 to 2 page resume. Don't you dare have a typo on there, right? Because that was the disqualifier. Well, now it's all rolled forward. And if it's out there, if it's incomplete, if it's got typos, all the computerized programs catch that and put it in the trash.
Delete.
So, yeah,
I can
delete.
tell you, I've sat
You
so
don't-
many times at the boardroom. Again, these high-dollar people, high
Yeah.
6 figures, 7 figures, and I can't tell you how many times my client will say, "Hey, let's look them up on LinkedIn,"
Yeah.
and they go straight to link. I give them a resume,
boy.
and they go straight to LinkedIn to make sure it's that person's there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And make sure that they're good enough to bring in. I mean,
Anybody with the technology we have, anybody can develop a resume, whatever they want. There was a guy at NASA that put together a technician resume, and he was a restaurant manager.
Well, and after you put together your resume, after you put together your bone, by the way, I've used it for 5+ years now, so I know Ethan. Yes,
Oh.
he is, Bone is a great place to practice your recordings so that when they get good, then guess what? You add your resume, you upload that to LinkedIn, you add your boom videos you've been practicing on, and you should have two versions. You should have a 30-second elevator pitch. It should say, hey, I'm JP, this is what I'm good at. Give them the value statement and be prepared for 30 seconds. Give them a 1-minute one, too. That way, the 30 seconds, the recruiter can qualify or disqualify you. And then you're ready. When you've engaged, you've got that longer one to pass so that you start working through the channels to get to the decision maker. Because the first two people you talk to are not the hiring people, really.
Right.
You know, it's this whole process it's outside sales, okay? So like you've got to get yourself inside of a company, and you know, it starts with the application, and you've got the applicant tracking system that boots you out, or if you get through, like if you get through, right? You're still in a big black hole with everybody else. Just expect to be in the black hole. Let's just put it that way. You apply online, you're in the black hole. Okay?
Or the black cloud.
The black cloud, whatever you want to call it.
cloud.
Whatever
Oh
you're
my
like.
God.
So
I saw
so
that
you
on
get in the
Pink
black hole.
Panther.
And then you got to network to find someone inside
Right?
to get your resume to pull it out.
Right.
And then you got to convince that person that you're good enough so they pass it on to the hiring manager.
Right. But in LinkedIn, what if you've already gone through the company and you find those people before that resume comes through and they say, oh, yeah, I know JP. I've seen his name before. Guess what? You've already brought down the barrier. You've shortened that cycle time to get there. And if they pull you up and they look and you're already connected to 10, 50 other people in the company, they're going to say, wow, this is a power player. We need to bring him in.
That's like Heather Kaplan-Weatherly.
Yeah.
Heather Weatherly. She didn't submit her resume at all. If she found a posting, she would go find people to network with,
Yep.
link
Yes.
in with them, have conversations, take them out to coffee, what have you. And she wouldn't put a resume in until they asked her, like, are you already in the system?
Well, how do you get
Yes.
that person's attention, though? So, okay, I'm on this end, and I find the decision makers on LinkedIn, but aren't they getting bombarded by everybody else? So how do I, what's something that's going to make me stand out to get their attention to actually have a conversation with me?
Well, first of all, you might warm up to them, not approaching them on that job opening. For example, if you look at the groups they're in, go dive into where their interests are. Okay, so I'm just going to make this up. Maybe it's aerospace and defense or something like that.
That's a good one.
Go join the aerospace and defense group and follow along on some trends. Get some trends going there. Once you're in the group, you can message to those people.
So like for you, Lucinda, I'm on your LinkedIn right now. You've got some interest groups that you're part of, like the Microsoft group, and there's a Accenture group, and all these different things. So what you're saying is you'd go look at what they're interested in,
Right.
and then go get in those groups.
Join it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And go have conversations.
Yes. Even if I didn't have any aerospace background, I'd find something to approach them with.
I can help you with that.
So this is
Okay.
like online stalking.
Yes, it is.
A little bit.
It is. But
But-
then you get more familiar until they think you're friends, or at
Listen,
least you have a
I
relationship.
want to make a real good comment here. So if you're first starting out, I can tell you, because I'm a recruiter, I've been kicked off LinkedIn so many times, especially when I was younger. Because if you start, pinging people just to connect with them, right? And you do that so many times, people report you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't been knocked off in a few years, right? But it still happens.
Fingers crossed.
So a good way to start is pick groups that you're interested in, because you won't get pinged if you ask people within that group, and you want to make a special note to them. Hey, we belong to NASA. You know what?
Yeah.
I love NASA. Can I connect with you? Right? And you can copy and paste that to every single person in that group, whether it's 1,000 or
And
10,000,
you won't get kicked off.
and you won't get
Okay.
kicked off. Now, if you do that to people that you don't have a common connection, like a group,
Right. Right.
you will get kicked off, and then LinkedIn will ask you to, formally apologize, and then in 24 hours, then they'll put you back on.
Here's the new book, okay? The etiquette to social stalking.
They
Boom.
teach that.
I need that. The etiquette to social stalking.
That's it.
Well,
That's
a lot
it.
of people don't understand. It is like dating, right? I mean, it's like it's just like dating. You gotta get them interested. You gotta kind of go slowly.
Mark, what you know about dating?
It's a
I don't know a whole
match.com.
lot.
Mark better not know nothing about dating.
And when Eric Lee from LinkedIn, one of the co-founders, came to Dallas to speak, he actually said that they went out and they studied those matching paradises, we'll call it, Match.com, Harmony, whatever all of them are. And it's one of those things where there's something about building attraction.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just happen. Like your wife didn't say yes to you the first time you took her out, hopefully.
Many years ago.
You don't have to answer that.
We'll leave that one alone.
Yeah, let's leave that one alone.
Lucinda, thank you so much. We want to make sure the listeners get a chance to connect with you. So what's the best way? Is it LinkedIn? Is it how's the best way for them to connect with you?
LinkedIn's the number one way, but you have to tell me how we met. Tell me you met me on the show.
The Who You Know show.
Who You Know show. Or tell me you met me at Frisco Connect.
Absolutely.
Or tell me you want to sign up for the training classes. I guarantee you, it'll help.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here with us today. That's the show. It's all about
Who
You Know.
Oh, my God.